Kara Wilkins, an avid gardener and less enthusiastic office worker, lived her life with a mundane predictability. One serene Saturday, as she pruned her beloved roses in the garden of her suburban home, her elderly neighbor, Mr. Tittles, waved her over to his backyard. Curious, Kara wiped her hands on her apron and headed to the fence. Mr. Tittles, a retired physicist with a penchant for unbelievable tales, greeted her with his customary wide grin. "Kara," he said in an urgent whisper, "I've finally perfected it." Kara raised an eyebrow. "Perfected what, Mr. Tittles?" He motioned for her to follow him into his cluttered shed, which she always believed housed nothing more mysterious than garden tools and old paint cans. Inside, however, was a contraption that looked like it had been ripped out of a science fiction novel. It was a circular platform surrounded by all sorts of electronic gadgets and screens. "It's a teleporter," he declared proudly. "Today, it's finally ready for a human test, and I can't think of anyone braver than you to be my first volunteer." Kara laughed. "Oh no, I don't know anything about being a guinea pig for this," gestures at the maze of technology swirling around. "Come on, it's perfectly safe. I've sent my cat through multiple times. Look!" He pointed to a sleek black cat lounging seemingly unharmed but decidedly aloof in the corner of the shed. "Mittens is completely fine. Aren't you, Mittens?" Despite her better judgment, Kara's curiosity overwhelmed her apprehension. Moments later, she found herself stepping onto the platform, heart racing with a mixture of fear and excitement. "Okay, what do I need to do?" "Just stand still and think of a place you want to visit," Mr. Tittles instructed, fingers poised over a shiny red button. Instantly, Kara thought of Paris. She'd always wanted to see the Eiffel Tower, stroll along the Seine, taste authentic French pastries. Suddenly, a loud buzzing filled the air. A brilliant light enveloped her, and then everything went dark. When Kara's vision cleared, she was standing in the middle of a bustling city square. But it wasn't Paris. The signs were in Japanese. The iconic scramble crossing and the towering screens of Shibuya overwhelmed her senses. She'd landed in Tokyo, Japan, halfway across the globe from her intended destination. Kara wandered through the streets, her initial shock giving way to a thrilled excitement. Each alley and shop was a new discovery, and the gentle politeness of passers-by lent a surreal quality to her accidental adventure. She tasted sushi from a street vendor, marveled at the tranquil beauty of Meiji Shrine, and lost track of time exploring colorful, quirky Harajuku. As night fell, Kara found herself at Tokyo Tower. It was no Eiffel Tower, but as she looked up at the lattice structure, beautifully illuminated against the night sky, she felt a profound sense of serendipity. Just then, her phone buzzed. A message from Mr. Tittles. "Hope you're enjoying your trip. To come back, just think of home. The return function activates mentally due to a secondary chip I implanted in your watch as a safety measure." Breathing a sigh of relief mixed with a twinge of regret, Kara focused on her garden, the roses she had left unattended, and the cozy, familiar ambience of her simple home. In a flash of light, she was back in her garden, the evening just a few minutes older than when she had left. Mr. Tittles popped his head over the fence, anxious and expectant. "Well, how was Paris?" "Not exactly Paris," Kara laughed, her voice imbued with the thrill of her unexpected journey. "But Tokyo was breathtaking." Mr. Tittles looked aghast, and then, breaking into laughter, he chimed, "Well, I guess I have some adjustments to make." From that day on, Kara's life was a bit less predictable, and much to her joy, a lot more adventurous. And as for Mr. Tittle's teleporter, it stood ready in the shed, awaiting its next accidental traveler, destined perhaps this time for the right city.